Hi, Empress Noir here doing BJD prompt number 4, Dollie BackStories. Now, I've heard a lot of people don't really care for backstories, which I like to say it's not true. I care for them because I think they're fun to make and it makes your doll more lovable. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dive right in and start talking about this guy right here. I have 4 dolls. You can see the rest of them from the back there. Press and get rid of your head there. And 3 more back there, and this is number 4 over here. He's my first doll. He is a 5-star doll, Nigel. Funny story about him, I got him secondhand. And I ordered him without even realizing what company he is from, by the way. Terrible move, I know it's horrible, but I did anyway. I thought his face was pretty and I could do some work on it and make him better looking. And my best friend looked him up and sent me the link saying here's what he actually looks like on the site, and I was crying. Oh my god, I'm gonna get an ugly doll, I won't know what to do with it. But the company picture doesn't really do him justice, so to say. Also, I apologize if it's a little bit dark. I'm using my video webcam and I'm doing this right now in the evening. Sorry, I'm a creature of the night. I sleep all day and I'm up all night. Yeah, I'm sorry. Also, if you can hear an accent, I'm from Cameroon, so it's in West Central Africa. If you can't understand anything I'm saying, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it, that's just my voice. And so, I'm gonna stop getting sidetracked. I'm going to dive in right to his story. Sorry. His name is Bastien Noir. He is my first doll, and he is the only one of my dolls that has a full name, a first name and a last name. I have one that's on the way. It's an SD. He is gonna have a full name too, but just the 2 of them basically. And Bastien's Noir story starts in the early 1600s because he's 500 years old. Also, I'm bad at math. I'm terrible at math, so that might not make any sense, but I don't care. You just do the math and then make it properly with the dates and whatnot, because I don't care for numbers. Anyway, starts with his mom, a well-renowned courtesan, French courtesan, who is courted by the vampire king because he wants to have a pure-blood vampire child to take over the throne of the house. Yes, the 3 vampires. Yes, of the house of Night Garden. Because there are 3 vampire houses who are main powerhouses that control the vampire underworld in his backstory. And there's the house of Rose and Thorn, the house of Midnight Garden, and the house of Rose and Kreutz. It's Rose and Cross, but I like saying Kreutz. And the main powerhouse, King House, is Midnight Garden, the house of Midnight Garden. Second in command is the house of Rose and Thorn, and then third in command is the house of Rose and Kreutz. And these 3 houses are always in a power struggle, but the rule states that the royal law basically says only a pure blood may rule the throne. And lo and behold, Bastien's father doesn't have any children, and there weren't any basically mortals of a certain type of bloodline that was able to carry a vampire child. And his mother turned out to be one of them. And she didn't know at the time what was going on. She was just thinking she was seeing this great, elaborate, handsome vampire man having some fun, spending money and whatnot. And turns out he's a very stern king. And when she was pregnant, he trapped her in the house, in the castle, and she could not escape for quite some time until she had friends, until she had this one awesome vampire friend who helped her escape, and she ran with Bastien still in her tummy. And she basically dropped off the grid. Nobody knew what happened of the great courtesan. People were saying that maybe she became a vampire herself. She's probably a vampire queen now. or whatnot, and nobody knew, and she ran off into the south side of France to a small village, and she gave birth to Bastien there. And a lot of people didn't know, because was just shocked about Bastien, why his eyes would always change colors in certain sites of blood, and you know, stuff like that. He was just basically different. He was pretty much the same, but still different attributes about him. The thing about pureblood vampires is they can still age. They're just fine. Of course, they have intense blood cravings, but as long as they don't drink any blood, they can still age. They can eat. They're okay with everything. You know, they're just fine. But the moment they drink human blood, they stop aging and they become a full-blown pureblood vampire. And so Bastien was made aware of this at a very young age, and so he took extra care about that, and he was happy with his mom until when the plague came. No, not really the plague. I mean, there was already a sickness going on. I like to think that the plague just helped basically activate the sickness that was in his family. Apparently, it was basically this hereditary disease. I never put more stock into what to name the disease or what to call it with, but you know, it's basically incurable. So at the time too, 1600s. I mean, come on. His mom became very ill, and Bastien. Well, this time Bastien had a little sister, Ophelia Noir, and his mom became very ill, and she passed away. It was sad, but you know, since it's a small village, the village helped bury her. They helped take care of Bastien with him and his sister. You know, he worked and he went to school, and he took his sister to school. He was about 16 or so at the time, you know, and his sister was about like 10 years old and stuff like that. And so they were together. They were still happy together in the small village. It was a small, nice town. They loved each other, and the town was just very kind about it, you know. And apparently, since the disease is hereditary, Ophelia got sick from this disease, and Bastien just broke down and did not know what to do. So he basically tracked down his father all the way and went to go see him and begged him, because he's basically a half vampire. Ophelia is pure human. She's a human, full blown. And with his current power state, he really can't turn her or anything, or even use his blood to heal. His blood can't even heal. He's never had a drop of human blood, so he doesn't have any strength. So he goes to find his father, Vampire King, and he basically begs and begs and begs and begs. But his father, I know this is the part where I always hate about his story. I mean, I can't blame the father. At the same time, I think it was just a twisted move, politics and all. His father said he would turn Ophelia and help her, you know, stay alive only if Bastien comes and lives with him and accepts his role as the prince, the next in pureblood vampire to ascend to the throne. And also Bastien would have to drink vampire blood. I mean, human blood, and become basically a full-blown pureblood, and it's pretty sad. And for that, he hated his father. His father basically twisted his arm. He didn't have any choice. So he accepted the role, but he doesn't really care for the power as much. He basically is just, he's all about, if I'm gonna do this, I am just gonna make everyone's life miserable, and that's what he does. And so that's his story. And so he becomes a full-blown vampire at age 24. He decides then to drink human blood, and he does that, and he becomes a pure blood. And at the same time, the own little side stories that happen, you know, when his like when his mom was pregnant, his mom had a sister, and she had other family members, and she advised them that she's pregnant with a vampire child, and that they're gonna have to all basically go off the grid. They have to migrate and move and run away, because the vampire is gonna start tracking her, and the vampires are basically gonna find them first. And so they wanted to take his mom with them, his mom with them, but she refused. She said it's better that she stay in the country. And so he has basically human descendants all across basically Europe, mostly in Germany, Scotland, and a little bit of them in England. And so yeah, that's his story. At the time, also he goes to school, private school, enchanted school for basically mythical children or whatnot, and he meets a unicorn named Rarity, and they become best friends and stuff like that. Yeah, that's his little backstory and stuff like that. There's nothing up till now. I mean, there's so much happening up to now. He's in a relationship with my best friend's doll, August, who is a flower demon, but that's for another BJD prompt. So yeah, that's Bastien's story. He is nothing like the Twilight vampires. I hate them. Please never associate him with any of them. Although for Halloween he decided to be Edward Cullen, which was funny, and all I did was just basically sprinkle sparkle all over on him from his head onto his body and just have him be shirtless. It was hilarious. So anyway, that's Bastien's backstory. I went ahead and put him down. So, hello. Had to do some editing there. So yeah, that is my first doll's backstory, and I'm gonna do basically like a part 1, part 2, part 4 thing, sequel thing, because I have 4 dolls, and this video was actually about 30 minutes long. I can remember the other day. I'm sorry everyone. But yeah, still, that is Bastien's story, and I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did watch it, thank you for watching, and I hope that you continue watching. Bye bye.